It's a pleasure to be here with you today. It's rather humbling for me to speak after such powerful interventions. It's a very complicated set of questions we have here in some ways. I just wanted to share with you some of my own experience. As Bonnie said, I was involved with the drafting of the UN Convention. I was a civil society advisor to the government of Canada in those days from 2003 to 2006. And this was a kind of a new construct in the UN system because what happened was countries from around the world came together to develop a convention on the rights of people with disabilities. And they sent the people that they usually send. They sent their lawyers and they sent their negotiators and all of these kinds of folks. And very quickly, they realized that they didn't really understand the nuances of being a person with a disability. And the way that Corey spoke about a little while ago, it was very difficult for these people to talk about the human rights of people with disabilities because they had no lived experience of it. So very quickly, we adopted the mantra of nothing about us without us. And that became the thing that we said over and over and over again during the convention negotiations. And if you look at the treaty itself, in Article 4.3, it talks very specifically about the fact that you need to involve people with disabilities and our organizations in the development of legislation that concerns us. And that's not some kind of nice, friendly thing to do. It's common sense. You can't develop good legislation if you don't have an experience of what it's like to be the person who's being legislated. So through the fabric of the convention, you see the need to engage people with disabilities. So it's troubling for me because, this is almost 20 years ago, and the Canadian government in those days, I think we could say, was really one of the forefront governments in the drafting of the treaty. There were 5 or 6 countries from around the world that really supported the work very strongly, and the Canadian government was one of them. And now we fast forward 16, 17 years, and what we see instead is the UN coming to Canada and saying, hey guys, what's this MAID business about? Just this morning, I got a document from the Special Rapporteur on disability rights and the Special Rapporteur on extreme poverty and the Special Rapporteur on older people. 3 UN experts have written to the government of Canada as of last Wednesday to say, have you really thought this through? We're very, very deeply concerned that what you're doing reinforces ableist understanding of people with disabilities. Have you looked at other alternatives? Have you talked to people with disabilities? They're asking these questions. And I'm sorry, but the answer is no, you haven't talked to us. We tried to talk to you, you haven't listened. And here we are at the 11th hour. It's just absolutely appalling to me that we go from being 20 years ago at the forefront of drafting this hallmark human rights legislation to here today, the UN is coming to us and saying, have you even talked to them? How do you get from here to here? We need to put a pause on this because something very seriously wrong is happening. Thank you very much.